Hello everyone, how's it going? Billy Ballgame here, back with another video. On this channel, I'm just a dude who loves to talk about baseball cards. And I'm going to talk about baseball cards. I'm going to show you some cards today, some recent pickups. But before I do that, I'm going to kind of tell you a story and tell you where I've been. Because if you haven't noticed, it's been a few weeks since I've done a video on YouTube. And a lot of you know that I decided recently that I was going to sell all my graded cards, and I've kind of been in the process of that since about the beginning of May or so, and I haven't really picked up much, and there are a few reasons for that, but there are also a few reasons why I haven't been on YouTube, and that's a big part of it is just because I haven't been picking up cards. I've been looking, but cards have been difficult to find. And another reason why I haven't been on YouTube is just because we've been really busy. We had a vacation down to Texas. I got to stay with my little brother, my youngest brother, for about a week, and his family, and went on a bit of what I've been referring to as a Texas barbecation, and got to eat so much barbecue that it is insane, and I could never get sick of barbecue, but if I could, this trip would have caused it. And this trip is proof that I can't get sick of barbecue, because I could eat barbecue again right now. But we went to a couple of the world famous places down in Lockhart, Texas. My brother lives not far outside of Temple, and we ate a few barbecue places in that area and had an awesome time. It was great to hang out with my brother and his family. So today is Wednesday the 11th as I'm filming this video. So we got back, what was it? Wednesday night, pretty late of last week. We're home for Thursday, and then we all went home where we grew up, because one of my nieces was getting married. And sorry, I swallowed wrong. And we got back Monday. So we've been going nonstop for these last few weeks. So that's part of the reason why I haven't been on YouTube. But another part of it is it's hard for me to buy cards right now, knowing that I'm selling all my graded cards. I think subconsciously I'm getting more picky and choosy about what I pick up, because maybe my brain thinks it doesn't make sense for me to buy more cards when I'm selling the graded ones that I already have. And it's not that I haven't been looking. I have been looking, and John Mangini touched on this on one of his videos. Just the prices that people are asking for cards currently is insane. Like, I've been looking on eBay every day, and most of what I find is extremely overpriced, especially with Buy It Now, which again, they usually are. And then when we were down in Texas, we went to a few antique shops, and some of them had cards down there, and the prices were insane. One shop wanted $4 for a rack pack of 88 Fleer and 88 Donruss, and that's absolutely insane. And had a very well loved, like by a pickup truck with 4 tires running over it, 1958 Topps Mickey Mantle that they were asking $800 for at this antique store. So again, I haven't been buying cards. It's not from lack of effort, and so that's why it's been hard for me to do videos on YouTube, is just because my channel is either built off of budget cards you can buy, or what's going on in the hobby for me, or recent pickups, and there just haven't been, what's going on in the hobby for me and recent pickups. And then I haven't had time to do any of the more any of the videos that require research. Like, I just haven't had time to do it. There are ideas for 3 videos that I want to post here, hopefully in the next few weeks. But I do have some pickups today. And so before I get into that, I want to plug again the Summer Slam show here in Boonville. As you can read on the flyer, it is June 21st from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. It's in the Knights of Columbus Hall on 1515 Radio Hill Road. And it's a pretty easy building to find, depending on what exit you take for Boonville. But that's coming up pretty soon, again, on June 21st. So I'm looking forward to that. There are going to be like 6 dudes, I think, from YouTube that are going to be there. Myself, my buddy Chris from Missouri, my buddy Mike from Jayhawker Vintage Cards, my buddy Justin from Go Crazy Card Collecting. He's going to come in a day or 2 ahead and stay here. And I'm looking forward to that. I haven't seen Justin since he was in high school, probably. And then Rusty Vintage Cards is coming up from Oklahoma. I've never met Rusty before. We've messaged back and forth a little bit and commented on our videos for quite a while now. Seems like a really good dude, and I can't wait to meet him. And then Mike Jayhawker Cards was telling me that another dude is coming up here from Arkansas. So by my count that I'm aware of, that's 5 YouTubers that are coming into town for this show. And we're going to have a whole lot of fun. I promise you that. I'll be set up there. Chris will be set up there. My buddy Tom will be set up there. My buddy Coop will be set up there. Justin, one of my local buddies, that's the guy that's promoting this show, wanted 60 tables, and it's sold out. So I'm sure it'll be a good show, and I promise you it'll be a good time. So again, if you're within earshot and a decent drive, feel free to come check out this show and join us on June 21st. Sorry, my dogs are going nuts upstairs. Come up, say hi, introduce yourself. I'd be happy to meet all of you that I can. So again, I hope you can join us. All right, so I'm trying to think. I've got a lot of stuff running through my head of what I want to talk about because it's been so long since I've done a video. Let me see, what else do I have going on? Oh, I've got a price. I've got to start pricing ungraded singles, like duplicates and stuff like that I am going to try to move at the show. I think whatever I don't sell at this show, I'm just going to leave it at that and not pursue trying to sell the rest of my graded cards after this. So whatever I have left is what I'll use to start rebuilding my collection. So maybe I won't be down to 8 cards like I thought I was going to be when I first talked about selling my graded cards. Yeah, so I'm about 10 minutes, almost 10 minutes on an intro. So back home where I grew up, my wife and I grew up, is about an hour south of St. Louis, close to Farmington, Missouri, which is like the nearest town that anybody has ever heard of. Kind of to the west, there's a card shop out there in a tiny little town called Caledonia, Missouri. And this is a shop that I've talked about before and have bought cards at. So I've been in a drought, I've been in a purchasing slump, and I was able to break that slump at A Boy's Dream card shop in Caledonia, Missouri. And I try to go, and I think this is the second time I've been there, so I guess I can't say that. I would like to go every time I go home. But this is a guy that I played high school baseball against. And just a really good dude. He's doing a lot to, like, he has a card shop, but not only does he have a card shop, he's putting in wiffle ball fields. Like, he's doing a whole lot to kind of keep some of the people around there engaged in the hobby and make his hobby shop not just a hobby shop, but a destination that people want to come hang out in. And I want to support small local businesses every chance I get. So shout out to A Boy's Dream Hobby Shop. And so I guess I've been rambling enough. This is a great video. So I did pick up a few cards there. And again, I've been looking on eBay every day. I looked on eBay today and just I wasn't able to find anything. So again, I don't know if that's I'm getting more deliberate about what I'm buying, or I'm just experiencing some unexpected emotions after having to sell, or after deciding to sell all my graded cards that I wasn't anticipating, because it's been a couple months since I've bought anything. But I did pick up a few things. So as you all know, I've been collecting King Griffey Jr. since '89. So I would have turned 13 years old, or sorry, I would have turned 14 in October of '89. And you can see back there, I have a couple King Griffey Jr. starting lineups. And I picked up another one. This is the '98 King Griffey Jr. starting lineup. I'm going to have to hope this sticker comes off very easily. But I don't think I've ever had this one. So usually when I go to antique shops or wherever and I can find King Griffey Jr. starting lineups for pretty cheap, like I'm gonna buy them. So this one's cool. I was in the Air Force then and wasn't really as involved in the hobby while I was in the Air Force. So happy to have that one. Super sweet. Love starting lineups, especially if they're a King Griffey Jr. And then speaking of King Griffey Jr., I managed to pick up a King Griffey Jr. card. Go figure. So this is probably the best looking baseball card set of the junk wax era. That's sarcasm. Most people hate this set. I really don't mind it. Like, for me, it's a simple design. I don't mind the yellow. And this is probably the best card in the set with King Griffey Jr. and Barry Bonds. I have a couple of these. I have a couple that I was thinking about getting graded. Sorry, I'm trying to peel the sticker off. And I just clipped my fingernail, so I don't really have any. But I have a couple of these that I had been thinking about getting graded for a while. But as inconsistent as SGC's grades have been, I made that look way worse than it did before. Look at that. Maybe I should take it out of the sleeve. But as inconsistent as SGC's grades have been, for me, I can't justify sending a card out like this unless I'm almost certain that it's going to grade a 10. Even though I love the card and would love to have a nice one graded for my collection, which I now do, again, I've talked about this before on my channel, it doesn't make sense to me to pay 15 or 20 bucks to get a card graded. Once I get it back, it's worth $5. Like, that just doesn't make sense to me. So moving forward with my grading strategy, I'm just not going to send cards out like this that I have to risk grading lower than I anticipate, and then just the value not being there to justify the cost of grading. As you can see, I paid, this was 80 bucks altogether. The starting lineup, this card, and the next one I'm about to show you. So I would rather go out and buy a 9.5 and pay roughly 30 bucks for it. So there's that. And these are really hard to find centered also. And this one's a pretty well centered one. So I'm happy to add this to the collection for sure. Sorry, once again, my dogs are going nuts. My wife and my daughter have been in and out of the house doing stuff with flowers. And then this is one of those 80s Hall of Fame rookie cards that I'm so drawn to. If you've been around the channel for longer than a couple months, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. So I really like the 85 Donruss set for some reason. And again, I've talked about this before too. I really think Donruss made some really nice cards from 84 through 87. I like the 86 set, like the 87 set. And I don't even mind the 88 set, even though it's everywhere and has no value. But I really liked the early run of Donruss sets. And this one, you know, I never really bought anything other than Topps until 88 because we couldn't find Fleer and Donruss and stuff like that where I grew up. So we didn't have a card shop. So we had to rely on gas stations and grocery stores and pharmacies. So I've always kind of been drawn to the non-Topps cards from the early to mid 80s because, again, I never really opened many of them growing up. So great card there, Kirby Puckett. Again, happy to have this in the collection as a graded version. Rest in peace, Kirby Puckett. Career was cut way too short and he passed way too early. I remember what a dynamo he was for the Twins in the 87 World Series against the Cardinals. And at that point in time, he was one of the best players in baseball, without question. So, there you go. Nothing too spectacular, nothing too exciting, but for me, it's a big deal because it's been a couple months, like I said, since I bought anything. And I'm excited to add some new stuff to the collection. So I'm hoping here pretty soon after this show in Boonville to start getting some of these cards put back in the case that I didn't sell. Because again, my card room's looking pretty bare with no cards on the back wall, no cards up here. My cards by my King Griffey Jr. autograph bat are gone, and most of the cards out of this case are gone. So it's looking a little bland in here. So again, I've just been in a little bit, I've just felt detached from the hobby because I haven't been actively involved. And my buddy Joe was talking about it in one of his recent videos. My buddy Joe, Redneck Collector, was talking about how he has to be constantly shopping or buying or grading or doing something to keep himself engaged in the hobby, or he's going to go find something else to do. And I'm not looking for anything else to do, but not being engaged in the hobby as nearly as much for roughly 2 months has it's been a little strange. So I haven't been making YouTube videos because I haven't had pickups. I haven't been watching YouTube videos because I haven't been in town. And then during the school year, toward the end of the school year, baseball was going on. So again, I was crazy busy. So it's just been kind of a strange couple months and within the hobby for me. And then for 3-4 months within the YouTube community. So I miss you guys. I haven't been watching videos as much. I haven't been on a live stream forever. So I would love to go on a live stream if someone is still watching this and would like to have me on their channel. That would be great. I would love to go on a live stream. My buddy Nate from After Hours Collector has been texting me. I think he's about ready to get his channel going again. And him and I have talked about doing a live stream together. I have talked about doing my own so I can do a live stream whenever I want to because I really enjoy them. Because then I'm just sitting there having a conversation with somebody about baseball cards and not talking to my camera. But our Wi-Fi is so slow down here that we have to get a signal amplifier set up so hopefully my internet's better down here, so StreamYard works better, and then I can start doing my own streams. My buddy Joe, again from Redneck Collector, went on StreamYard once just to talk and hang out. But the connection was so bad. I kept freezing up. The audio was terrible. So I need to get that fixed. And I've talked to my buddy Justin from Go Crazy Card Collecting about doing something on a live stream. And Chris and I have been talking about it forever. So I've got to get this internet issue resolved. So that way, for the most part, I can just have a live stream or some type of collaboration whenever I want to. So again, long babbling video. It's just been a while, so there's a lot on my mind as far as the hobby goes. I'm not quitting. I don't plan on going anywhere. It's just been a little bit of a strange time for me these last few months, and to be honest with you, it's just been hard to find motivation to do a video. And I have filmed a couple that I didn't post. So hopefully I'll get that resolved. And again, I have ideas for a few videos that I'd like to do here in the near future. So if you are still with me and you haven't unsubscribed to the channel because it's been so long since I've done a video, I really appreciate it. And I guess I'll end it at that. So again, thank you as always for your support. I can't even begin to tell you how much it means to me. Your comments, your well wishes when I decided I was going to sell my cards. I've gotten a few messages too of guys coming out and saying, hey, we haven't seen or heard of you in a few weeks. Is everything okay? So I appreciate that from everyone. Everything's been fine. I've just been kind of in a weird place as far as the hobby goes. Other than that, everything is great. So thank you. Thank you. Please don't worry about me. Everything is fine. So I guess until the next one, I hope everybody has a good one, and I'll talk to you later.